All right, welcome back to another episode of the Kameo Podcast. This episode was traded for via barter system because the barter system should make a good, strong comeback in the DMs of Instagram with an artist by the name of Dylan. Bellamy. Bellamy.
Hi.
Which, for some reason, reminds me of like someone from One Piece, the manga. I'm not sure if you're into One Piece or anime or.
I get a lot of people telling me that it's like the character from the 100.
A little bit closer. There we go. Yeah, so we're just trying to keep the line right around there. That's the game.
Sounds good.
Cool. Keep talking.
Just
Your name though, Bellamy. What does it mean? Out of curiosity, do you know?
I have no idea. I think it's Irish. It's my dad's last name.
Your dad's last name. So have you been in Kamloops long? Are you from Kamloops?
I'm not. I'm from Barrier. I've lived here past 15 years. Very acquainted and.
So you came from Barrier, which is even smaller than Kamloops.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Even more resource dependent than Kamloops. So, What brought you? What brought you to Kamloops, and what are you doing here now?
It was just a good area for my family. It's perfect. I quite like. I used to be more of a city person, but I'm kind of starting to become more like fond of this size. Like this is a good middle ground for me. I was pretty much born here. I was born in the hospital here. Like we pretty much lived in Kamloops even when we lived in Barrier. Like came up here very often.
You lived in Barrier, but you had to get born here in town?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's inconvenient.
Yeah, it's not fun.
And so, are you at TRU right now for visual arts or?
No, I'm still at. I go to Valley View, and.
Oh, you're in high school.
Yep. And
really?
Yep.
I seriously thought you were my age.
Thank you. No, I'm in my grade 12 year, and I'm enrolled in fine arts. I'm actually lined up to have be featured in the Cube at the Kamloops Art Gallery here.
Oh, cool.
Through like this network of people called Atlas Artists. It's run by a person here in Kamloops. And
tell me more about Atlas. What is it? Are they connected to like the Arts Council? Are you part of the Arts Council?
No, it's not. It's like it's very independent right now. It's me. It's run by a friend of mine, and he's kind of in the middle of a network of a lot of various kinds of artists. There's some musicians, there's some fine artists. The person who runs it, my friend Diego, he kind of manages all of us in various ways, like from music management to, like, for example, arranging me getting an exhibition in the Cube and hopefully in like the main gallery someday.
Oh, interesting. So in like it seems very commonplace in like this high school age, because I was talking to this guy online, Cody the Clout Lord. We met on Instagram, and he's 15. Mm-hmm. I guess so. Your age, mm-hmm. Right?
I'm 17, or I'm 18 now, actually.
You're 18?
Yeah.
But you're in high school?
Yeah.
Okay. See, age is such a weird number now.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, your generation seems so savvy in this, like, whole trading online economy. It's very, very interesting to me.
Yeah,
and you're not on Facebook.
Nope.
You're quite interesting to watch on Twitter.
Like the range is all around.
Yeah, it's Twitter. Does a lot of your friends use Twitter? Like, out of curiosity?
A decent amount. I would say a lot of them like people I go to school with have accounts. They just kind of forget about it. Instagram's more the place to be. But for functioning with people like you online, I would most likely go straight to Twitter. Like, it was kind of random that I picked Instagram or whatever. But, like, I would usually pick Twitter for more of my art-related activities.
Yeah, and you had something that you wanted to promote at one point coming up. What was that project that you were working on?
I've been working really hard on this huge painting that I've been doing. It's probably about 5 feet tall, 4 feet wide or so. Just finished it up. You can find it on my Instagram or my Twitter. I've been working on it since September. Very hard on it.
How do you decide when something's done?
Well, it's tricky because I bounce between lots of styles. A lot of my bigger stuff, my major stuff, it's almost like I'm trying to like prove myself. and it's like more portrait based, and I usually do like a quick like sketch out, and then I kind of almost just like puzzle in. I start with the eyes, then work around the eyes, come down to the nose. It's pretty mechanical, really. I'm trying to expand it more to working with different mediums and different methods, but that's like a problem that I face because I do a lot of like, I call it like curated collagism, where I take motions of different. It's hard to explain, especially.
No,
just with words.
I understand what you mean by curated collagism. It's like just like digital memes to me, it's to translate what you're saying. I see the world through viral thoughts, and I see that in your paintings and your work, in the
like
sense
very
that,
timestamped to this day and age.
I don't know, maybe like I don't know. Like I just see like Cody the Clout Lord. To me, he's like vaporwave.
Oh yeah.
Right, like, and I can start to see like the people in the memes that they categorize in.
Oh, that's kind of how you pair it with that.
Yeah,
got you.
And that's kind of how I see your art as well. Not to like see that, and I understand what you mean by a curated collage, because you're like borrowing stuff.
Yeah.
And collaging it together.
I'm more so steal ideas. I use the word steal because I think a lot of more artists need to say that. Like, it's just like straight up.
Artists steal, good artists create.
Exactly.
I think mediocre artists transform, which I think I transform stuff because I consider myself like a, meme lord, which is such a sad thing to say.
I say I steal it, and I steal the idea, not like with collages, like you steal the photo and you arrange them, but I like draw them out again, and it's like, oh, I don't like the way this looks. I'll just change it in my version, essentially. Yeah. That's why I say it's like curated versus normal collages or.
Well, I think curators are also completely undervalued too, right? You have to have someone who can has an eye for the value in the masses of content too, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why, the cube exists, right? Yeah. And you have some sort of management to get you into the cube. Yeah. Because if someone didn't have that talent, it would just turn into
they would most likely never get seen, or
it's kind of like just Google Images, 12th page.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need someone to work on that level and with that content.
Absolutely. And how's the internet helped you grow as an artist?
I see there's a lot of, when you go on Twitter, there's a very big community of like, they're kind of called like Twitter artists, and you could see patterns in speech and also their style. Like, there's some really good ones out there. There's some great ones, Bryant Giles, Ian Woods, who like, they put their art on Twitter, but it's like they disassociate themselves from that community. And I try to do that too. I don't want to be a Twitter artist. I want to be a high-end artist that like.
But what does it mean to be like a Twitter artist though? Like, because you still have physical, real paintings that you can't distribute via Twitter unless you physically sell it. Yeah. So
it's more so of a culture than a criteria. Like there's just like that group of people that work together. Like you kind of, it's like a social clique kind of. Okay. It's just a different clique from like the higher end artists. So I'm trying to like.
So is there like a defined like influencer leadership that you can like see patterns coming out?
Yeah, just I find them. It's hard to say without kind of sounding
pretentious,
pretentious and rude. But they're a little more pessimistic, and they like their vibrant colors, and like there's certain music tastes from like Tyler the Creator or like those kind of indie rappers like Brockhampton and stuff. Versus like I don't know, like a lot of higher end artists that are into more like random and like weird stuff. They like the weirder,
like less like who are we talking, like XXXTentacion? Like I know the whole underground hip hop scene quite well.
He's like I would probably put him as like he's kind of hated by Twitter artists, I would say, because a lot of Twitter artists are very like about social justice and everything, and about and all the controversy that's around him. Like they're kind of against that. For example, it's confusing. I know it's hard to explain.
No, I totally understand, right? So like my Click is a BC Underground hip hop forum, right? And there's defined leaders, and I have been able to establish myself in part of that culture in my own way, right? And you can see your influence and impact in that culture quite rapidly.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the power of, Twitter or
exactly.
Whatever community you're a part of, and how you can interact with it in a global sense.
Yeah. And coming back to your question about me, social media impacting me, it's like I want to use it to grow, but then I want to be able to step away from it, and I want to be able to kind of grow past it in a way.
No, I totally see that. Next to me, I have a live streaming kit.
Yeah.
Right? Where I can do video live streams. And I have no interest in myself being video live streamed right now. Right? I think that removes some of the honesty in my conversation, even though this podcast started off very, very rough on my part, so I'm sorry. But, Dylan, what's something about yourself that you find yourself struggling to kind of express through your art at times that people just aren't picking up?
Something that, people aren't picking up?
Yeah, you're trying to show or say something, and it's...
I feel like because a lot of people who say that hey Dylan, I like your art or whatever, aren't huge art fans, and it's like a seasoned artist or a person associated with art would be able to pick up on the concepts in my art, because I've a lot of it, my curated collages stuff, it's more based around the concept than the execution, but I try to hide some of the well executed stuff, kind of almost to entertain the people who are less associated with the art scene. But yeah, I feel like I hide a lot of stuff in my art that people don't care enough to zoom in about. That's something that I dislike about social media, is you could scroll through 300 photos before you even get out of bed in the morning if you decide to, and it's kind of spoiled everybody.
Totally.
Yeah.
I always find myself leaving Easter eggs or mini sub-jokes
exactly
hidden in things just to see if will people find this.
Exactly, and people don't try enough to look at the double entendres and wordplay, and
totally.
Same with rap music, is people just want line by line by line by line without caring to dissect it all, and I think there's that's half the fun to me.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other thing about rap music, right? There's conscious rap, has actually. There's been some conspiracy theorists who think the CIA tried to change LA rap scene into a more drug focused rather than super conscious.
Oh yeah,
back during the opioid crisis and whatnot. It's very interesting stuff.
I've never heard of that, actually. That's really interesting.
But think about it. Now you have Lil Pump talking about sipping lean, right?
And it kind of just evolved into that.
Drink perp and smoke perp and all this drug culture, which is very troubling to me because I see it in your high schools kids' SoundClouds that they're talking about this sort of stuff. What are you concerned about in this future of ours of online social sharing that you grew up with almost exclusively? I saw the rise of it from the early days. What do you predict?
Well, my opinion is very similar to what you said, and it feels like the stakes, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm becoming more aware on social media, but it's the stakes keep rising from you watch these rappers jumping off 3-story buildings into crowds of people or whatnot, and I'm scared that I'll see some rapper from Kamloops doing that someday or whatnot, and it's too based around wanting likes and not enough on, and I feel like it'll take one person to really screw up and do something like that, and then people will be like, oh, maybe we should kind of work on ourselves a bit, and
interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it'll take one really big screw up to one person to die doing some crazy thing for a music video. Like that guy, did you hear about that guy in Calgary, that rapper who tried to record a video standing on the wing of a plane while it was flying?
No.
And fell off and died. This was a month ago or two.
Oh, really?
Out of Calgary, I think.
Oh, Jesus, no. No, that's...
And the scene there has very much so calmed down since then, and I think it'll take something like that to...
So you're watching the underground hip-hop scene?
Not so much. I'm quite into rap music, though, and I'm...
Who do you listen to?
That's a big question. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Earl Sweatshirt's new album because I like weird stuff like that. Weird stuff. Did you listen to his album?
I haven't listened to him in about a year and a half, maybe.
It's a very weird album. It's very based around loops, and it's a new kind of different that I'm not too associated with, and it's very different to, like, the album's literally called Some Rap Songs, which sounds kind of like funny and vague, but it's like he was talking about it's like his like obsession with like minimalism, and it's quite literally some rap songs, like that's what it is. So
interesting. Yeah.
And it's all the beats are just loops. They're like 5-second loops just kind of over and over again to a certain degree, like not completely.
Well, it goes back to like very, very early hip hop days, which you can get away with if you're Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Which he's always. What was he? Wolfgang Kilimal? Was he part of that?
Oh yeah, he was like one of the front runners.
Yeah. Man, it's been fuck, I'm stoned. Anyways, shouldn't I really hope that doesn't impact you.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I think hip hop's very, very interesting, right? I love hip hop and I love the grind. I think I'm concerned at how much entertainment plays a role in culture now, and how
entertainment is in
like how much money's in entertainment through social media. You know what I mean? And like how powerful media really is.
Yeah, I'm not really too like concerned like the media part, but I'm very for like money being spent on entertainment, not necessarily in a sports way, but more so in like I like seeing big venues sell out and big.
Have you done Art Battle?
Art Battle?
Yeah, Art Battle where at CJ's downtown.
I've seen it online, but I've never participated.
I don't know if you can get in if you're underage. It is at a bar.
CJ's? No, I don't think so. Next year. Next year
soon.
I will.
Soon. Awesome. Well,
I have seen it online, and and it's really cool, and I would like to participate in that kind of stuff. And
have you listened to the Lost Boys' new album?
I watched the music video, and I listened to like a few songs, but I didn't like listen to the album or anything.
Yeah. So Malibu was pretty cool. And we got Supreme Patty in theory coming to, not in theory, he is coming to Kamloops with Joey Hyde, February 8th.
That
Rich
caught me
Homie
really
Con.
off guard. I did not expect to see that at all.
Yeah, and so Lil Wundex will be here twice next month.
Yeah, I heard about him coming last time. I did not expect to see that happening in Kamloops at all.
Supreme Patty is an interesting cat. He's very much in there, like the jumping off 3-story buildings and then pouring.
Kind of, which is a little scary.
It's very cringy.
It can be, yeah. I've watched him. He's a really curious character to me. I find him really interesting because I want to know who's paying for this. Like who's paying for his
lifestyle.
Yeah, his lifestyle, and I know he's like an influencer, and there's a surprisingly huge hidden market for that.
Well, he's selling his weird, free gold chain necklaces from China thing. Just send me $15 for shipping.
Is that what it is? Do you pay for shipping?
Yeah, but it basically covers the cost of everything because it just comes from China, and China costs like $3 to ship or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's post in Canada is expensive. You go to the States, they give you like boxes and bags and envelopes and tape and like bubble wrap and like its shipping is really cheap in the States. It's just expensive in Canada.
Yeah. But I find him a very interesting character, and I'm curious to see how that goes. I'm not sure if I'll go, but I'm excited to see it on like social media and stuff, because I know something interesting will happen. I'd put money down that someone will get hurt, someone will do something crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a good investment. That's a good investment.
You could agree with that?
Oh, 100%. There's even that kid, the daddy no neck. Daddy.
Oh, the no neck.
The boy with no fat on his body.
Oh yeah, the little skinny.
The really skinny guy is coming along.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. But let's get back to talking about art. Where did your interest in art come from? When did it start? Because it seems to me like growing up, you were never really proud to be artist in even my high school per se, right? And
people in general.
Yeah. It's kind of a new thing in a way.
I wouldn't even say it's just a straight up just non-existent thing even like and I like the idea of me being the face of that movement. But what was your original question?
I think it's funny because you don't actually have like a picture of your face on most any of your your outlets. So how could you be the face?
Yeah,
I don't know. I had
true.
no idea what you were gonna look like.
I more so mean like the
you look like
metaphorical.
You look like a Backstreet Boy back in the day.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll take that. I like that idea, but yeah, I like being the sort of the face of that concept and it's like I like to show off my art. I like the idea of being sort of anonymous on social media. Are you familiar with Murat Pak?
What's that?
It's he's a designer and he does a lot of more like communication based design and a lot of like programming.
Okay.
And no one knows what he looks like. No one knows his real name. He's kind of a very anonymous Twitter persona, but still gets hired for jobs just through.
He's kind of like a digital Banksy.
Yeah, exactly. But more so based around like programming, but similar. As much of an outcast as Banksy, very similar, yeah. And I like that idea, and it's like me slowly. I would like to sort of participate in that, but I still want my face to be. It's kind of it's conflicting right now.
Oh,
and I'm still trying to figure it out.
It's totally conflicting, right? Like I'm creating a podcast where I have to decide, how do I transition to being, a more global, inclusive podcast where it includes other people, more than just physical people and cameos, right? Because I limit myself in that regard, right? So you have to figure out how you grow that's strategic, so you don't lose the following that you've already created for yourself.
Because people that follow you want cam loops.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but it has to. You gotta figure it out, or whatever it be, right? So I'm figuring that out, and I think it's fun as an artist, and I think it's fun to do it online. I see your hustle online, which I don't see a lot of people on Twitter these days, which makes me sad.
Yeah, Twitter's a weird thing right now, and I'm slowly trying to use Twitter less. It's
really,
and
I think it's more effective than ever right now. Like you have direct access to Ed the Sock.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and the fact you get that who Ed the Sock is gives me hope for the future.
Yeah, that's funny, but yeah, I don't know. I like Twitter. Almost feels too easy. It's too like they give you. I almost want to see more freedom associated with like the building of your profile and like the structure as opposed to like the content you can post. Because on Twitter you can post, you want words, you can post words. If you want pictures, post pictures. If you want polls, you post polls. I like the way Tumblr does it, where it's like, that's actually one of my first jobs where I made money is editing like, doing the HTML and the CSS for people's like Tumblr profiles.
Oh, really?
And I like the idea of an open-ended, like.
I use Tumblr for all of my websites.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I just slap a domain onto them and be like,
you pay $5 for a domain, and then you get a free website essentially.
Yeah, and in theory, if you stop paying for the domain, the content still exists. You can still meme it into existence, right?
.tumblr.com.
Yeah,
exactly. And I like that. I like that idea that it's like if you're gonna be inclusive like that, if you're gonna make it easy, give it less. Like give me more creativity. Go kind of commit to that. You know what I mean? That's why I like either Instagram or Tumblr. I don't really use Tumblr too much, but I find it really interesting. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like overwhelming, but I kind of like that. Like it's like it almost like there's a lot you could do with it. And that's why I like Instagram too. Is it's like if you want to post words, then you gotta kind of give it like you have to post it as a picture. You have to kind of give it a style. Write it on a Post-it note. Write it in your I like that idea that it's almost sort of telling you.
There's 10 billion ways on Instagram Live. Like you can you basically have the ability to make podcasts on the fly with Instagram Live.
With the IG Live or IG.
Yeah, when you have two people on live together, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And then you just download it through StorySave, rip the audio, and throw it up on Anchor.fm. Boom, you have a podcast. Like it's
exactly.
It's crazy, and that's why I have all this crazy fucking equipment. But Dylan, I'm gonna have to wrap it up pretty soon. Where can people find out more information or reach out to you?
My Twitter, my website, dylanbellamy.com or bellamy.world. And I'm pretty sure all my social media is on there. I'm at Dylan T. Bellamy on Instagram. That's the best place I would go to see what I'm up to. I post a lot on my story. I don't post very often as on Instagram, but I post a lot on my story, and I like to keep people updated there.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
And any parting words you'd like to just share?
Nothing in particular. Look
My
out
debt
in the
is
future.
settled now.
Sorry?
My debt is settled now.
Yeah.
My long-standing debt.
Yeah.
Make sure you pay your artists, people.
All good. But
Awesome, Dylan. Well, thank you for chatting with me.
yeah, it was fun.
And thank you for listening on in. If you're new, please consider subscribing or leaving me an iTunes review. It does help me out. And a like, share, or whatever it be. I've got a lot of interesting new ideas and treats coming your way, so keep a lookout for that. And cheers.